Hello, my friend. It is Pat Sloan here with my daily video. And so we are closing in on Thanksgiving, aren't we? Close, close, close. It's going to be on Thursday. So first, let's do the topic of the day, which is a Book Nook talking about books. So I've been thinking recently about the learning process and what you might be reading to learn new things, what you might be reading for enjoyment, what I'm reading for, most of the time I read things that are not fiction. I don't read much fiction. And so I, really have enjoyed reading some business books and, sort of time management books, that kind of probably put some of you to sleep, but I like reading those things. But the other thing I'm reading is the How to Hygge book. This is the one that I've got. I bought a ridiculous amount of these books. I don't know. I probably bought, on that list, I think I bought now all of them. So what is that, about 8 books? But this is the only one I bought in print. The rest I bought on the Kindle, which I love because as I'm doing my wrist exercises or maybe having dinner or just relaxing a little bit in the evening with a glass of wine, that I can just read some of the books. But this one I got for a print version, because it has recipes in it. So I want to put it with my cookbooks. Things like the cardamom twists. Don't those look yummy? Yummy, yummy. But I was wondering if you're reading any of the Hygge books, and what are you sort of, learning? Are you learning something about yourself? Are you adding something into your routines this month as we're doing the cozy things? I've been just sort of thinking a lot about it and how I process stuff. And so one of the things I decided to do was to put up my Christmas ornaments and put up my Christmas tree before Thanksgiving. Because I usually do it on the day after Thanksgiving. That's always been a tradition. But I think this year I deserve to have twinkle lights a few days early. And I know some of you have done this way early. You've had them up for weeks. But I'm just, that to me is cozy. And it feels good, and it'll be nice to go and turn the lights on every morning as soon as I come down, and then turn them off just before I go to bed. That's what I do. They stay on all day long, and I love it. I remember being on a cruise once where the trees were up already, and they didn't turn them on during the day. So I went and asked them, I said, can you just turn the trees on during the day? Because we like to see the lights even if it's not dark, They twinkle still, and it's just it's so magical. So I'm going to put my tree up. And speaking of just doing things that make you feel good, I put on one of my favorite scarves today, and I got the little Hygge pin. Do you see? Oh, let me just scroll in here. See there he is. Isn't he cute? So he is one of a 3-pack. I think I showed you this before, from the Woodland Creatures. It's got a little wreath, but I thought, I'm just going to wear the pin. Like, what the heck? I've got the pin. Why am I not wearing it? So all of these things are to feel good. Like our cozy clothing is this week's theme from last Wednesday. We get a new theme on this coming Wednesday. So, and I am working on which I can't show you yet because it's not ready, the new theme for our next Wednesday Sew Along, which will start the first Wednesday in January. I don't know what day that is, but that's when it will start. So I have to get that out to you so that you can be prepared. And it's something you can easily use scraps for and use your stash. And so I think that's a good way to kick it off. You'll probably want to buy some background fabrics. You might want to buy a starter bundle and then add to it, because that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a starter bundle and then I'm going to add fabric to it. And that's how I'm going to work. Now, yesterday I forgot to mention that there on the calendar, it says the Button Club. But the Button Club has moved to December. So there'll be another Button Club little project in December, which will be a Christmas theme. And it'll be small, something easy, fun that you can just put together quick to have a little decoration. So that'll be a fun way to use buttons. Super easy. And I have another project that I'll show you in December that is being done with my friend Jane. She and I cooked up just a little fun thing to share with everybody. So we're going to be doing that right in early part of December. Now, one of the things is when I was working on that project, I thought I'm playing around with fabric because it's very fabric focused. Like how you put the fabric really will change entirely what the project looks like. And so I'm looking at my fabric and I thought, I need to add a little black to the Morrison Park. And so luckily I had this bundle that had come, one of these great bundles that came from the Fat Quarter Shop. And so here is my bundle of black that was from their So Colorful club. So they run all these clubs all the time, and you can, you know, get different fabrics. And so the color club has been just great because it always seems that there's a color I need, and voila, they sent a bundle for it. So I thought I'd show it to you. They do give you the little chart. So there's always this chart that shows you all the fabrics, but I thought I'd walk you through them because that's always more fun to see them. And this grid work, what is it, like wire, like chicken wire, there's the word. This is pretty cool, and it's variegated. Like the black is not solid black, it's black and it's got gray. It's really neat. Then there's a sort of a whitewash kind of like thing. I love the map. Look at the map with the bears and deer, the fish, all the fish in the water. That's really cute. And these are great because you never know when you're going to need a little something. Here is words, and these words are, you know, fresh air and sunshine, mind your own business and life will be great. Mind your own business. Don't quit, don't give up. So joy and laughter. There's a little floral, which is very sweet. Now I like this print because these are super useful. They read kind of a light black, and so it's really great for use places where you don't want to see a distinct print. Like this would be a very distinct print, this you know, but like a buffalo plaid, like a small buffalo plaid. But this doesn't have it, it's just got sort of that color as you move back from it. Okay, then there's the buffalo plaid, a small scale one in blacks and grays. Here's sort of a zinger, that's really cool. And it, you know, up close you can see they're sort of like little lightning bolts, but as you go back they look like leaves. Here's some little dashes, just makes a small print. Oh, this was one of them that I was actually auditioning to use. So a teeny tiny polka dot. The trees, I love the trees. And the plaid, ah, this is so nice. I like that one. Some mountains, and this, the plaid was Thistle Hill. I don't know what that. Now this one is neat. I don't know if you can see. Can you tell what it is? Let me get the bigger part back here. There you go. They're all animals, and the windmill. There's cows and chickens, and the truck and the windmill. I think a couple of these prints came from that line. Like here, like this one. Saw the farm words. Yeah. So I think there's a couple of them, and probably the chicken wire, you know, probably came from that same line. So these are great if you are looking to, you know, build out some colors and have fabrics you might not pick on your own. They generally are keeping, when they do black like this, you can see everything is primarily black. There isn't like a lot of black and white or black and red. You know, they keep it really to that one color, so that gives you a great selection. And they're fat quarters, so there's a nice chunk of it. And if you get a piece and you think, oh, that looks great, then you could just go and order more of it, so you know that that'll work. Yes. Now the little deer, okay, you got to help me on binding again. The little deer is done. Because I haven't quilted it. It's done because it's just a top. Do you say that's done when it's just a top? I do. As soon as it's a top, it's done, it's done. I know because you show them in the group, so I know I'm not the only one. So I selected out primarily the red, green, and pink squares that came with Deer Christmas for around it. Now I do want to outline the deer, and then I don't want to have much quilting. Whoops, my fingers. So I don't want to have much quilting on the deer. I want the deer to be outlined and then have definition quilting, but I don't want to do an overall. So I don't want to do an over, you know, just cover the deer up with like a grid work or something. I want to do this a little bit more custom, and it's a nice size, so I think I can manage that. But I've got 3 fabrics for binding. This is from the fabric line, the Jingle Bells from Dear Christmas, and so I have plenty of that. And then I have this stripe, which is it's a little dulled down. It's much older stripe, and it came from some line years ago. So the colorations are not as clear. The white is really dark, like, you know, dark cream. And then I have a little bit of this. A little bit of this, not a lot, but I'm thinking if I cut this at like 1 1/4 for single wide binding, that I might just have enough to do binding with this, but I have to measure it and see. We'll see if I have enough of that. If I do, that is it, but I might be doing a really, you know, cautious little binding on there, you know, so maybe a scant 1/4 of an inch to put it on, folding it under just barely, and then that'll give me enough width to do it all the way around. So today also on your calendar is the Prim cross stitch. Yes, and so here is the next one in the series. This is number 5 of 12, and it is Beauty and Simplicity. And I love that it's an applique block. Look at this. Now I want to applique a block, you know. Look how cute it is. So I did it as a little mini. I forgot to bring the little holder down. So this will go on the little Ackfeld holder, and I'll, yeah. Here's the standing version of the hanger. I forgot to show it to you. Forgot to get that part. So I'll bring it on here tomorrow. I'll show you that again tomorrow. I'll show it with that. But it's pretty simple to do these. What I do, let me just give you the little brief. So I will take, like, the embroidery, the cross stitch. I'll take the cross stitch and cut it. I cut it 5 1/2, and then I will sew, you know, a border around it. Okay. So now pretend this is the cross stitch top. So this is the top here, like this. Pretend that the cross stitch is in the middle. Then I take the fusible fleece, and this has got like a side of it that's a little stiff, and that's where the fusible is. I will put that on the back of the backing, okay, and then cover it with something. I sometimes just cover it with the other piece, and then press, which will activate and melt the adhesive, so it'll stick to the backing. And then these two are sewn right sides together. You sew them around, leave an opening, and turn. And that's how I get these little mini quilts. Then I top stitch about 1/8 of an inch in from here, and about 1/8 of an inch in from the outer edge, so that it gives it a little mimic of binding, and I have a little definition. Then there's no other quilting. That is it. That's all the quilting on it. So I feel like I've got a couple projects going at once, and I'd like to finish 1 or 2. That's like who said I should be starting a deer panel, right? Who said that this was a good idea? But it's just cute, too cute, and it's so small, you know, you just have, you know, like, it's not. But now I want to quilt it nicely, so now it's going to take a little bit longer. All right, and I didn't do the binding yet on my zigzag table runner. That's down there. But I'm going to need that because I'm going to have to decorate, you know, so it's going to have to be done. So that'll be next. All right, my friend, the links are all below, and I will, oh, I love you. I love you. Mwah. And I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Bye-bye.